Hey there, Beech class. The first math skill that we're going to look at this week is using tally charts to represent data. By data, I mean a set of information. So Mr. McKinnon has collected here 4 sets of data, 4 separate sets of information. Up here, we have the data which shows what are Year 6's favourite animals. Over here, we have a set of data which shows what are Year 4's eye colour. Down here, we have a set of data which shows what are Year 5's hobbies. And over here, we have a set of data which says, how do Year 3 get to school? Now, for activity 1, tally chart activity 1, I want you to select one set of data. So just to confirm, not all the data, just one set of data. I think the data that I'm probably most interested in is this one here. How do Year 3 get to school? So that's the data that I'm going to select and I'm going to turn into my own tally chart. Now, you've been given a blank tally chart like this. Your job is to take the data that you're interested in and turn it into a completed tally chart. The first thing you need to think about is a title. The title explains what the information in the tally chart shows. So my title is Eye Colour in Year 4, because this chart is all about the eye colour in Year 4. You then need to think about giving a little mini title to each column, okay, to show what the information means in each column. This first column, I think, should be, it tells me the different eye colours. Okay? The second column shows the tally, and the final column shows the total as a number. I can then set about putting the information in. Green, blue, brown, and grey. Okay. My next job is then to actually start doing the tally. Now, tallies are quite an interesting way of recording down a total number. For each one green eye, I need to drag in one tally. But there's a special technique we use. Once you get to 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th one, you do a diagonal, one across like there, so it turns it into kind of a gate kind of looking thing. Now that's so you can easily, you don't have to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like a shortcut. When I see that, I know there's 5 there. Okay, so I've got 5 there. So I need another 1 to make 6, and then 7, and 8. There we go. There's my tally for green. My last step that I need to do is just to make sure, let's get a proper colour here. I need to put the total number. So a total of 8 people have green eyes. Okay, down to blue. Blue, 6 people have blue eyes. So I could do a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a 6. 6 people have blue eyes. On to the next one. Oh, brown eyes. This, when we have big numbers like 16, this is where this shortcut comes in really handy. 5, 10, 15, and one more. Make 16. Super. 16 people have brown eyes. Okay. Ooh. And oh, just one person with a grey eye. Grey eyes. Sorry. Okay, there we go. That's my first activity completed. I've chosen a set of data that I'm interested in, and I've used that data to create my own tally chart. Once you've done that, you can move on to tally chart activity 2. In tally chart activity 2, you start by completing the tally chart, but then you move on and have to answer some questions about that tally chart. So I've done that first bit already. I've created the tally chart. I did that earlier. I'm now going to think about these questions. What is the most popular way to get to school? Now, the only way I can answer that question is by looking at the tally chart. I have to examine my tally chart and work out what's the most popular way of getting to school. I can do that by examining the tally, and I can do that by examining the total. Now, if I look through the data here, I can clearly see that the way of getting to school which has the most tallies in and has the highest total is walking. So I can clearly say that that is the most popular way of getting to school. So I can just write down here, what is the most popular way of getting to school? I can say it is to walk. Okay. Let's move on to the next question. Okay. B, what is the least popular way of getting to school? So again, I need to interpret the tally chart, but this time I'm not looking for the most popular way, the least popular way, the way with the fewest number of tallies and the smallest total. Hopefully that's really clear from the tally chart that bus is definitely the least popular, most popular way of getting to school. Okay? So I can write my answer. What is the least popular way of getting to school? I can type bus. Next question. These questions, the C and D questions, get just slightly more tricky because the C and D questions ask you to do a little bit of arithmetic. Okay? It says here, add the number of children who go by bike. Let me just highlight that. By bikes, that's 9 people. To the number of children who go by car. Okay, so it's asking me to do an arithmetic problem. It's asking me to solve the problem 9 add 6. 9 add 6 equals. Now, for those of you who completed last week's number fluency, we focused on questions like this, addition questions where we don't have number bond knowledge yet. And the technique we looked at was bridging through 10. So I'm going to try and use and apply that bridging through 10 technique to solve this problem. I think the technique I'm going to use, the support that I'm going to use is, I think I'm going to use this number line to help me. Or use a number line to help me. If I can get it in the right place. Okay. Right, let's draw my number line. Oh, I do not want to do it with yellow. I want it with a nice, simple black pen. There we go. Okay, I'm drawing a number line. Now let's get rid of that ruler. Okay, so 9 adds 6. So the number I'm starting with is 9. I need to add on 6. Now, with the bridging through 10 method, my starting point is, what do I have to add on to 9? Oh, come on, computer. There we go. What do I have to add on to 9? Just give it a moment. Are you good? What do I have to add on to 9 to get up to 10? Okay. If we're using a 10 grid, we'd think, how do I fill the 10 grid? Okay, so I'm going to take this 6 and I'm going to partition it into 2 pieces. The first piece is the part that I need to add on to bridge to 10. And because I've got such good number bond knowledge, I know that 9 and 1 will bridge me up to 10. So I'm going to, first step is to add on 1. That'll take me up to 10. Then I can jump on the remaining part. Now, because I've got good number bond knowledge, I know that 6 is made up of a 1 and a 5. So that tells me that the remaining part that I need to add on is 5. And because I've got good knowledge of place value, I can add 10 and 5 together, no problem. 10 and 5 equals 15. So the number of children who go by bike, that's this number, and the number of children who go by car, that's this number, is in total 15. So I can put my answer as 15. So to solve this problem, I had to interpret the tally chart, but also I needed to use and apply my arithmetic skills that I worked on last week in my number fluency. Let's look at the last question. The last question says, find the difference between the number of children who go by bike and car. Let's start with some highlighting. The children who go by bike, 9. The children who go by car, 6. But this time we're not being asked to add them together, we're being asked to find the difference. Another way of wording this question could be how many more children go by bike, or how many less or how many fewer children go by car. Now, to solve this problem, again, I am going to use my number line, but I'm going to use it in a different way. So first of all, draw a number line. This time, I'm going to use my number line not to add, but I'm going to use my number line to find the difference. Find the difference between 6 and 9. Okay? So I'm going to start with 6, and I need to work out what the difference is between 6 and 9. Okay? Because I've got really strong number bond knowledge, I know that 6 add 3 equals 9. Okay? So the difference between 6 and 9 is 3. Okay? So the difference between the number of children who go by bike and the children who go by car is 3. So my answer would be 3. 3 more children go by bike. 3 fewer children go by car. The difference is 3. And I use the number line to help me. Okay? So when you solve these problems, when you do the activity on your own, you're going to need to be able to, yes, interpret the chart and write down an answer, but particularly for questions C and D, you're going to need to show me some arithmetic skills to add and bridge through 10. You're also going to need to show me some arithmetic skills to find the difference. Okay. Good luck, guys.